Hello and welcome to this video where we'll go into setting up dbt, and it's the first time we'll set up dbt, so I will do it from scratch, starting with setting up UV for virtual environment and then installing dbt and installing what's needed for connecting to duckdb. So the purpose here is to set up dbt and connect to duckdb. I also have a video for setting up dbt with Snowflake. And if you want to have other database engine that you want to set up with dbt, please leave a comment below here so that I might consider it in the future and cover that. So let's move on to Visual Studio Code and starting up now. So here I am in Visual Studio Code. What we have is just a terminal. So starting from scratch. So UV to create a virtual environment. And then source.then bin activate to activate it. So now I've activated my virtual environment. So let's install some stuff. So uv pip install dbt-core, dbt-duckdb, as I want to connect dbt to duckdb. And we're working with dbt-core and not dbt-cloud. So dbt-core is the open source version. Okay, installed, done. I really like UV. It goes really fast. So note, this is very important that you need to have your virtual environment activated in order to have the dbt command, right? So if you just write dbt, then you can see that, yes, there is dbt here. Otherwise, if it says dbt not found, then maybe your virtual environment is not activated. So let's do this now. We need to first go into a file called profiles.yaml. And this profiles is in your, it's in /.dbt. So I will jump into here. So in order to open this one, I will do open /.dbt/profiles.yaml. Okay. So when I open this one, it opens up here. And you can see that I already have a few lines of code. So you should have this as well. So if it's empty for you, then you should type in this code. And also, if there is no profiles.yaml for some reason, maybe it's the first time, I don't remember if setting it up for the first time, if there is no profiles.yaml, then you should create a profiles.yaml file in this area. Okay, and then you write dbt code, and here you have tab for target, and target is dev for development, and then you have outputs for the dev, and then you have type duckdb in order to get it into duckdb, and the path we choose ads.duckdb. So this is based on where the dbt code is in our folder. I'll show you soon. So now when you have this in your profiles, then just do this init dbt code. So this name here, dbt code, it refers to the one in the profiles.yaml. So if you want to have several projects, then you have several, for example, you copy this one, and you could have another dbt project, for example, dbt ice cream, for example. So this is another project called dbt ice cream. So then you're doing dbt init dbt ice cream instead. Okay, but I don't have that one, so I remove that one and save. So this is a global file. It's in your file system, and when you're doing dbt init, it looks for this profiles.yaml. So I'll do this. And what it says is that the profile dbt code already exists in this file, and continue and overwrite it, yes or no. I will say no because I've already written it out, so no. And you can see it has created a few folders for me, dbt code and logs. And inside of dbt code, this is interesting. You have different folders here. The folder structure, you have analysis, you have macros, models, seeds, snapshots, tests. And then you have dbt project.yaml. As we saw in the theory lecture before, dbt project.yaml is the configurations. So here you should have your configurations. And then you have all your models in the models here. So let's start with deleting this. I will actually delete this example. Delete. Yes, so my models is empty. And then I will go into dbt project.yaml, and then I will remove this example as well. And then let's try this out. Let's do in my models. I will have two folders in my models. So I'll do like this: cd dbt code, and then I will do make dir models slash staging and models slash refined. So I create the two folders here, and inside of those folders I will have different types of SQL files. And those are my models. Okay, let's here in the models in dbt project, let's specify that. And we start with staging. And the schema here is in the staging. And then we have materialized as view. So we'll come back later exactly what this means. But I will do the same here. So I copy this one. And this one is not staging, it is refined. And this will be in the refined layer. Okay, this staging refers to this staging folder. And this staging here, the schema staging, it refers to a schema inside of duckdb. So note that we will separate all our layers into different schemas. And a schema is basically a logical grouping for tables and views. So we have a schema called staging, we'll have a schema called refined, and later on we will also have a schema called mark for serving our data. So these are the different layers we have, different schemas. And also later on, we won't just call it staging and refined here. Instead, we'll divide it into different dimensions and facts and some other things. That is when you have learned about the dimensional modeling. But let's start here. So very simple when we're setting up this. We need to be in dbt code folder. And then you do dbt debug. And then there's an error here. Okay, so I've solved it, and the problem was that I had installed dbt before in my global environment, and now when I'm trying to use it from my virtual environment, it actually points to the global environment. So what I did was just to uninstall the global version. And the reason for the problem was that the global version was a little bit older than the one that is currently used. And for the duckdb adapter, it works on the newer ones. So I just deleted the global version with pip uninstalled. So now when I have done that, just do dbt debug, and we can see that all works. So you can see here there's a registered adapter, duckdb192, and then there is, if we can also check dbt-version, and you can see that, yes, we have plugins 192 for duckdb, and we have the dbt-core here, 194, and they are up to date. Everything is good now. Okay, so moving on, let's go into the refine layer here, or we can start with the staging layer, and we can create, or before we do that, let's check what happened. When I did dbt debug, it checked the connections, and also we can see that there's an ads.duckdb that has arisen. So we can do duckdb ads.duckdb, and if I do this, we can see there's nothing there. And that is because we just started out and it created this file. with this, I will actually add another duckdb file, which we have gotten from an earlier lecture where I used DLT to load the data. But I will provide this in the GitHub repository so that you can download this duckdb file to use. So I will just paste in the duckdb file. Okay, so now I've actually replaced the ads.duckdb with the one which has been loaded from DLT. So we have data here. Let me show that. So duckdb ads.duckdb, desk, and you can see here is some data. So we have a lot of things from staging here. So when you're loading the data from DLT, the landing zone is the staging schema. And in the staging schema, we can pick out this name here. So select star from staging dot data field job ad, like this. And here is the data exactly. So we have the data here. And let's stop this one. Let me go into duckdb-ui ads.duckdb. So we can go into the UI. It's easier to explore. Yeah, I called it dbt, or we can create a new one. Ads EDA. Okay. So let's do like this desk. Let's see what we have. We have staging. We have this one, right? So from data field job ads, let's see, staging, right? Staging dot this one. Okay, and then you might think it's weird to not have select first, but this is just duckdb from syntax, so you can do like this. Okay, but with this one, we can look at the headline. Just for fun, I will look into the headline here. If you can see, we have headline, we have application deadline, number vacancies, description text, etc. So let's just look at the headline. So from staging dot data field job ads, select headline. Okay. And the headline here, you can see there's a lot of data engineer, and there's senior data engineer, etc. So let's change a little bit just for fun. This is probably not even correct, but for fun, I will change all the data engineers into junior data engineers. Okay, the idea is that we will make a transformation here using dbt. Okay, so let's move back to dbt. And for doing that, we go into our staging. Let's see, staging. From the staging, we can create a new script called original headline .sql. So in dbt, it's recommended to always start with a CTE. So with the with statement here. So we have with, for example, staging data as selector from add dot staging dot data field job ads. So here we get this one, and then we get the data. And another thing that we should set up here is in order to make it more convenient so that we don't need to actually run it and put the data into the database. It's better so that we can test it out here, is to have something called dbt-core. So you should go into extension and type in dbt-core. So I have installed it, but I will restart the extension here. So when you have installed this, let's change this one to Jinja SQL. Okay. So with this, let me see, can I do? yeah, I did Command Enter or Control Enter if you're in Windows. So then it will run this query in dbt power user to check out the results here. And this one is going a little bit slow the first time. Okay, I reran it and it became much faster. So now you can see that this is the query results, and using the dbt power user, it's much simpler to just preview the results before you actually compile the code and send it into duckdb. We haven't changed our database right now. Now it's just a query. Okay, so select star from staging data. We get everything here. So all dbt files should be written with using with statement, so a CTE. And in CTEs, you can have several intermediate tables, right? Or intermediate queries that you can use from. Okay, so select star from staging data, but actually I just want to have the headline just for simplification. I could take the headline and I could take something else. I could take, for example, we can take the description. Headline and description. Yeah, it's not just called description. Or we have, let's see, select, yeah, exactly. It's formatted or description text. Okay, description __ text. The reason why it's called __, it's just the way DLT unnests the dictionary or the JSON object. So when I run this one, we can see, yes, perfect. We have headline here and we have the description text. Okay, so let's move on now. I save this one. So the idea is that when we run this one, this should be placed in the staging schema. So let's run it. I will do dbt run. Okay, so it says completed successfully. And then let's run ads.duckdb. So duckdb UI ads.duckdb. Okay, and if we look into here, our duckdb, let's see, if I run this desk, there's something weird here. We have main staging and we have original headline. Okay, so main staging, let's see. It came into main staging by default and not into the staging schema. But is the data correct? So from, let's see, from, we can create another cell. From main staging dot original headline. Yes, this is the transformation that we wanted. Okay, but it just came into the wrong place. So what to do now is that we go back to dbt, Command C to stop duckdb here. In order for it to be placed in the right place, we go into macros and we create another macro. And this macro you should always have. It's called generate _schema _name.sql. And inside this one, you just copy what I have. There's no reason for not writing exactly like this. Yeah. So this is from the documentation. I've gotten it. And what it says is that it will set the default schema. It will change it so that basically the one that you pick in your dbt project.yaml is the one where it will go to. So this is what this Jinja SQL is doing basically. So what do I mean with that? So if we go into dbt project.yaml, you can see here that staging should go into staging schema and the refine should go into the refined schema. So by default, it puts it into the main and then it does underscore and it puts in the staging name. And same here, refined, it will be main _ refined. But with this generate schema name, it will actually change it. Yeah, you don't need to understand the details right now in Jinja templating language. Instead, just know what it does. It gives so that all the models from staging will be in the staging layer, all the refine will be in the refine layer, or the refine schema. Okay, so I will run dbt run again. And then I will do dbt duckdb UI adds.duckdb. And if we look into here, we can see desk. The first one is still here because we haven't deleted this, we haven't dropped this table. So you can see here staging and original headline. So perfect, it comes into the right place. Okay, moving back to dbt. I'll do command D and command, yeah, exactly, to close down duckdb. Let's update the headlines here. In the refine layer, I will call updated headline .sql. And this one I will have, okay, with staging data as select star from. And here I will do, it should be, I will change this one to Jinja SQL. And we can see the power user helps me with some snippets, so enter. And we can see it will refer to a model name. So I want to refer to this original headline. And this is super powerful. From let's see, original, let's see. It's called staging data, but it's called original headline. So ref original headline. And then select case when headline equals to data engineer, then it should be junior data engineer, like this. And then else it should be the headline, like this. And then we have end as job title, so we change the name of the column as well. Okay, so does this one work? Let me try it out with command enter. And we can see, yes, it changed to junior data engineer. And this one is data engineer. And then we have senior data engineer, etc. Okay, so it seemed to work. So let's run this one in dbt run. Note that whenever I run it in Power User, it's just for previewing. dbt run is the compilation. Perfect. So now let's do duckdb UI adds.duckdb. Go into the UI again. And I run desk. We can see here we have refine layer, updated headline. So from refined dot updated headline, and I run this one, and we can see, yes, we have the job titles here. And if we would wanted to have the description as well, we could just have added another, we could add like here, description, text as description. So I transform that one as well. And command D, and then I will do dbt run, and I will do duckdb again. Okay, let's see. Yes, and I will run this one, and now you can see, yes, there's a description as well. And if I run desk, you can see, yes, it's the refine layer and updated headline. So this is super cool because we have written code and it compiles to duckdb code. If you have chosen Snowflake, and then it will compile to Snowflake SQL code. So this is super useful. And let's go back to, so here what we have done is basically we have a generate schema name so that it comes into the right schema. we have the refine and staging, which we have chosen in dbt-project.yaml to have the right schemas. And then we have our models inside. So our SQL models are inside of these folders. And what was very cool was that this updated headline we used here. So it refers to this model here. What it does is that this one will, when it compiles, it will compile to the actual real path. But dbt, when it compiles, it counts the path for us so that we don't need to hard code it. So that is quite cool as well. And also, always use CTEs. That is the best practice for dbt. And also later you can add several tests, etc. But this is a really good start of dbt. So with this video, you have seen dbt setup and also some simple transformations in dbt with duckdb, and we saw the results in duckdb that it worked. So this is a quite a good starting point. And also we worked with dbt power users so that you could check out the results, the preview of the results beforehand, before you actually compile the code and do the changes in the actual database. This is a really informative video, and I hope that you have learned how to set up dbt and work with dbt together with db. And I hope that this will help you in your data analytics and data engineering path. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one. Bye.